helplessness of human abstraction, and the ecstatic sameness that corrupts me time and time again. July 12th, mobile phone broke, so upset. July 13th, worked the shift at the bar. Sasha brought his friends to the bar I worked at. A large group of young people squatted and smoked. Happy, summer. Yuan was working at the Contemporary Art Institute. Q got new shirts. Jack passed around Korean cigarettes. Smoking with older co-worker and talking about the failure of his business. About to shut. People on dates were leaving together. I said to co-workers that I felt jealous when I see someone who was about to have sex. Cam said that he was the same. And co-workers said that you two should do it then. I didn't say anything. After a while, he said, "Doesn't Leo have to go home?" July 16th. Bar hopping with co-workers after work. Me and Cam closed the bar, so we were late. On the way, we discussed literature and poetry. When we got to the place, we had shots. The waiter was very nice. Then we went to Hot Pot. Went home at 5. Crazy night. July 17th. At work. Cam was not in today. A beautiful girl with a tank top came to the bar and asked where Cam was. Went on a date after work. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I went home beautifully. July 19th. I woke up in the morning and went to have sex with the guy I went on the date with. He's 2 years younger. It was really good. He was falling in love with me. After sex, I felt bored again and went to work in the cafe. July 21st. I dreamed about Kevin in the morning. When I woke up, it took me a long time to remember that I dreamed about him, and I kept crying. July 23rd. Sick, runny nose. Nap in the afternoon. I dreamed of walking with Sasha at night. We saw 2 people kissing on the sidewalk. I knew one of them was Cam. Sasha said, "Isn't that him?" I stopped, and the woman he was kissing left quickly. I went up to Cam. He said, "Here you come." The sky quickly turned dark. I thought I heard his voice in real life. Woke up to the living room ceiling. Very disappointed. Sweat profusely. July 27th. Read Cold Memory by Baudrillard. Alan came to the bar I worked at. He studies acting. He is very handsome. He smoked one cigarette after another and talked. He's very funny. I thought he didn't like me, but he asked me to go to the disco later that week. Cam said that the men I like are all of the same type. Had to end things with the younger guy. He cried a lot. A large number of autists came to the bar for open mic, and some people recited proof rock. Cam and I exchanged glances of contempt. July 28th. Went to work. There was no one at all, and I started thinking about myself and others. I made the wrong order. Boss was upset. July 29th. After work, I rode bike to have dinner with my friend Nina, sweating like a river. A feeling arose during the dinner. I am more afraid of being completely understood than not being understood a little. I'm more afraid of the boundaries disappearing than the boundaries not disappearing. It is actually easy to confuse myself with others, and I cannot take this matter lightly. Nina understood this. I bought a silk silver tank top. Nina and I each got one. I took the subway to the disco. I thought the long-haired smoking guitarist was Alan, so I went up to him, but it turned out he wasn't. He came, we went in, and he had a glass of whiskey and I had a glass of rum. Under Pressure was playing, and the piano was so crystalline and hopeful, and we started to dance. The guitarist was really good. He played Gimme Gimme Gimme. The beautiful woman with short hair in front of us kept looking at Alan, and there were other women who looked at him a bunch. During the break, we left the venue to buy cigarettes and chatted. When we came back, we sat down. He was really good looking, and I was impressed by his glistening face. He seems to sing very well. He asked me if I had a shift at the bar tomorrow. I said no. I was going to the province in the north to visit family. He asked me when I would be back. I said around August 4th, and he said, by then, I will be old. He called a cab. I said I haven't had enough to drink yet, and he said this time he asked me not to drink, but to dance. Next time we drink. I said, okay. When I got on the taxi, I sat on the left and he sat on the right. I was worried that he wouldn't kiss me. When the car drove down from the highway, I suddenly realized, so what if we don't kiss the second time we go out? In America, I'm so used to things moving fast and ending fast, but it shouldn't be. Take a step back. There is no need for me to bring this kind of culture back to my country. Beware of the evil forces in the West. When I got home, he sent me a WeChat message saying he got home, and I suddenly realized what a happy day it was. July 30th, drinking with co-workers. At the end, Cam patted me to go out for a smoke. Then we went out, lit a cigarette, and started smoking. No words between the two of us, but I had a feeling that we understood everything that each other would ever say, and therefore there was no need to say anything. New people constantly come to repeat this dream, so that our non-transparency will ever persist. August 4th. Alan asked to have dinner together in the evening. I was overjoyed. After a while, I replied that I was going to work today, and let's do tomorrow. August 5th. Sasha asked to hang out. We went out to buy cigarettes. Co-worker at the bar gave me a menthol last night, and I loved it. Today I bought it and smoked, and it was not as fun. I took a taxi to watch Alan's band rehearsal. I went in and saw him. He was really good looking. His clothes were also nice. There were like 6 people in his band. They were all our age except for the boss, who was bald and like 50. I was fascinated. I met Mimi, who dances and sings. She goes to school in Australia. I left the venue several times to smoke. Alan always followed me out. There were cats at the rehearsal place. Cats hide in the reggae room. August 6th. Working at bar, about to shut. Cam was upset because a girl cancelled on him last minute. He asked me and other co-workers to hang out, but the rest of us all had rendezvous planned. Cam made an amaretto sour to drink away the pain. I took a sip. It was delicious. I turned to look at him, and his face was right in front of me. He was very handsome. I was shy. August 7th. I went to play with Mimi, the friend in his band. She told me to pull up to this apartment. A lot of people were there, rope bondage enthusiasts chatting and rolling around and tying each other up. Mimi said she and Alan had sex before they formed the band, and he was very ordinary, and he was average at sex. Also, he asked her if she's PC after seeing the activism things she posted. I must kiss him on Monday. August 9th. I took a taxi to his workplace. He worked in a menswear store. Left to eat Yunnan food. The pickled lotus root were delicious. After leaving, I asked what we were doing, and he said to drink or to go home. I said whatever, and he said go home. I said go to your house, and he said, I said I can come, and he said you can. Went home, smoked and chatted. He talked about his stupid roommate in college, how he felt like he was nothing on the day of graduation. When he was a sophomore, his roommate was gay, fell in love with him, and would moan in bed every day, cried and called his name. He said that his roommate would talk to him a lot, but he just listened and had nothing to say. He said very little. I said that's not true, you talk a lot. He said it was only like this in front of you. You were the right person for me. He also said that when he was 9 years old, his father had a car accident. After the car accident, he seemed to be a different person. His parents divorced. His father became very cold, but he would make silly faces to children in public. After talking some more, he was lying on the bed. I stared at him and said, "Don't lie down." He said, "I'll lie on your lap." So I touched his face, and then he said he wanted to sleep. I said, "Don't sleep." He lay down, then told me to lie down. I lay down. He kissed me. After we kissed, he asked if he could just lie down with me for a while. Is that allowed? He said, "I like to be with you." The sentence in my heart was spoken, and I don't know what else to say. He also called my name. He said, "You are really good." He said he acted like a child in front of me. He said, "Why don't you come here to sleep when you're free?" Then he felt that it was not possible because we would talk all night and we would not sleep. August 11th, dinner with friends. He came to pick me up to go home. In the taxi, he fell asleep with his head on my lap. I played Bjork on Unravel. He said that he had never been able to cry. When he cried, he knew that he was crying, but could not shed tears. He said that when we hung out the 5th time, he read my poem in the bathroom of the shopping mall. I said, "You were there for so long, I thought you were taking a shit." And he said, "I knew you'd think I was taking a shit." I said to him that he still remains non-transparent to me. He didn't understand what I meant. He said, "Parent? Your parents?" I said, "Opaque." And he said, "Olympic?" I said, you're still non-transparent even after you have told me so much about yourself. Even after other people have told me so much about you. He said, other people? Mimi? I said, yes. He said, August 14th. Bar colleagues went out for one last night together. Even Jason came. I kissed Cam a few times, but I didn't feel anything. I asked him why he didn't have sex with me when we first met, and he said it was because of circumstances. August 16th. At night, I went for a 2-hour walk without my phone. I had a great revelation on the walk, but I forgot all about it after I got home. There was a cat on the street that wouldn't let me go. August 17th. Alan said twice, you were still young. I said, young in what sense of the word? He said, you were still like someone like this. He meant with such intensity. I said, I thought I didn't do that anymore, but with you it was different. He said that he would be honored. He said that after meeting you, I'm less and less sure about what love is. August 18th. I cried loudly at night. I don't know why. I listened to Doughway, masturbated, and looked at his photos while crying. I'm leaving the city in a few days for school. August 19th. At band rehearsal. Mimi told me she was worried that Alan made me cry. I said, I didn't know why I cried. She said that he told her he regarded me as a very good friend. He didn't want me to cry, so he was feeling bad. This is very different from what he tells me. I don't know what's going on, but I felt like my feelings haven't changed. He asked me if I would come to his place later. I said, yes, okay. He said, yes, okay, yes. And I said, yes, yes, yes. At his place, he said he wanted to give me the shirt with the Japanese rope bondage imagery. He ironed my shirt, very serious. His mouth was pouting a little, a drop of sweat on the tip of his nose. Then we watched an old cult film. I was very sleepy. I dreamed that we were in a big American train station, like Philadelphia or New York, with many stairs, and I saw Michael Quinn, the guy who my friend was dating, who I thought looked like Alan. I was trying to drag him to say hello to him, but Michael Quinn disappeared quickly. I was very happy when I woke up. It was very bright, and it took me an hour to get home. August 21st. Our last day seeing each other. I called the car to leave, and when the car was almost here, I said, the way you sang Sweet Dreams is very sexy. He said, thank you. And I started to choke. Then I saw the car was approaching, and I said, knowing you has made me feel calm. I will no longer ask everyone I meet to prove to me that I am not completely unlovable. But at this time, I started to cry. The car finally came, and I finally had no way out. I said, there's one more thing I've never said to anyone else. I said, I don't need your answer. He said, hug. I didn't hug him. I looked into his eyes very gently. I love you. He said, yes. Thank you. He pulled me into his arms slightly, and I kissed his face. I said goodbye, turned around and got into the car, and cried hard. August 23rd, packing all day. Thought about a dream I had where I was in line at the guillotine, and I thought that surely this will only hurt for a second. But when it was my turn, I was still so scared. August 24th, had a dream on the plane that I parked my car in this parking lot, and then a guy who looked like Cam but dressed like Alan appeared and said that he was saving the spot. We had an altercation, and then a meet cute. And then I was looking at his phone to look at his photos. And then we made out. I woke up. Plane was descending. Summer is over. I had a dream that there was a performance at an outdoor scenic place when I was in the audience. There were a lot of cool people there. Sasha was there. He wanted me to read a book he annotated when he was in the bathroom. The interviews were all of people who thought that they were funny, but were appearing foolish in the interview.